Dear Dad, you will be glad to know that there is likely to be a lot more apple pie in your future, because my girlfriend and I have started talking about getting married within the next couple years. She and I have weathered some pretty difficult storms together, and though challenging and sometimes painful, all of it has made us closer. But Dad, the deeper our relationship becomes, the more I realize how little I know about what women want. I don't want to mess this up, so I thought I would come to you for sage advice about what women want. You and Mom have been married a long time, and still you act as if you are childhood sweethearts. So I really want to know some of the secrets you have learned about these mysterious creatures called women. Love you, Dad, your confused son.
Dear son, I had a poetic thought when I read your letter. I thought, my son found the apple of his eye, who has a way with apple pies, and he loves her to the core. Forgive me that one, but I couldn't help myself. Anyway, I appreciate your faith in my ability to teach you what women want, but I have a better idea. Who better to tell you what a woman wants than a woman? Son, I have been married a long time, and I am still learning. Thankfully, your mother is a great and patient teacher, so I asked her to teach you. She agreed to write you a letter giving you some insights into what women want and need from a man. She is funny. She told me that after she finishes writing it, I should read it too because I have apparently forgotten a few things. Anyway, I have attached her letter below. Love you, my son. Your Dad.
Dear son, I applaud your desire to learn what women want. Few men take the time to do the work that you are doing to become a great husband, companion, lover, and leader. Let me say from the outset that what women say they want and what they really need are often in conflict, so there is no wonder men get so confused. To make matters worse, our culture is teaching women to want things that are often against their very nature and best interest, and therefore, getting what they want can sometimes be the worst thing for them. And so, some of the things I am going to tell you will be very different from what you see in the movies, internet, the culture, or people you meet. That is because I base my beliefs upon a knowledge of how women were designed by God mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and His intentions for human behavior. I am not interested in presenting the learned wants and needs of women who have accepted a counterfeit view of life, meaning, and truth. Their wants are many, varied, and frequently in conflict with what is best for them, and certainly what God intended their desires to be. You see, I may want to eat anything I want, as much as I want, and whenever I want it, but my body was not designed to support that behavior and remain healthy. In this case, what I want in the moment, pleasure, is at odds with what I want long-term, health. I probably have confused you already, but stay with me on a different analogy. A man may push, prod, and seduce a woman to sleep with him because in the moment he wants sexual gratification, but her inability to say no exacts the long-term price of diminishing her virtue in his eyes. What his higher self really wanted was for her to say no, that is if he is looking for a lasting relationship and not just gratuitous sex. His instinctive self values her no as a golden replica of her strength and fidelity to morals. In another case, there might be a woman who is being seduced by her boyfriend, and while he attempts to disrobe her, she continually tells him she doesn't want to have sex, while at the same time she continues unbuttoning his shirt. She, her higher self, wants to say no, but she, her carnal self, also wants to please him and herself sexually. I hope you see from these analogies that it is hard to answer the question, what does a woman really want? Sometimes I believe a better question is, what should women want? Some modern women want wimpy men they can control, but later find their primal nature drawing them to aggressive, confident men who take control. Such is the complexity of our human interactions, and it is important you understand that, as a backdrop to the advice I am about to give you based on my beliefs, studies, and self-reflection. I believe Christian women firstly want a Christian man who is well developed, strong and healthy in body, mind, and spirit, a man who loves and knows God and accepts the authority of Scripture. She wants a man who understands the Scriptures and is able to impart his understanding to her, others, and especially their children. She wants a man who lives the Christian morals he professes, and is not a hypocrite. She wants a man she can trust, depend on, and be kept safe by. Women want a mature man who has given up boyish, irresponsible ways, and achieved a high level of competence and confidence in surviving and thriving in the world. He must have forsaken his idols of fun and replaced them with responsible commitments to a secure and righteous future. She wants him to have resources, or the potential to gather them, and be generous with them. She wants a man with a vision for the future and a plan for getting there successfully. She wants a man who is not intimidated by her strength, intellect, talents, or abilities, but embraces them as blessings to him, the family, the church, and the world. He does not seek to diminish her gifts, but helps her develop and use them. She wants to face the challenges of the future not in front of him, nor behind him, but beside him, an equal partner with different, suitable, and scripturally defined roles. She wants a man that makes her feel elevated and honored, who helps her to become a better version of herself mentally, spiritually, physically, professionally, emotionally, and as a feminine image-bearer of God. She needs him to be a gentleman who is unashamed of being chivalrous and mannerly. She needs him to embrace his paternal fatherly instincts and enjoy the process of nurturing children. She wants a man who makes her feel as if she is the most important, desirable, and special woman in the world to him. She wants his sexual energy focused only on her, not images, icons, acquaintances, or seductive competitors. Women want a masculine man and everything that word means. Strength, courage, confidence, capacity for aggression, protectiveness, fearlessness, sacrificial deference to women, a healthy manly body, and the kingly qualities of leadership. Masculinity is under attack culturally, but its instinctual desirability has not changed and never will. It is architected into the genes of men and the instincts of women. Bad boys are an exaggerated embodiment of the aggression, strength, confidence, and fearlessness that is characteristic of masculinity, and that is why so many women are attracted to them. Their highly aggressive masculinity appeals to the feminine nature, and too often that appeal overpowers women's ability to discern the danger these bad boys are to them. With their primitive brain in full tow of the bad boy's exaggerated masculinity, women can forget the importance and desirability of the safe, gentle, mannerly qualities that real men possess, and bad boys don't. The good news for good guys like you is that you don't have to be a bad boy to project a potent masculinity, if you put in the work to fully develop your mind, body, and spirit. Good guys can be aggressive, adventurous, confident, bold men who make wise choices and are considerate to their women. Our modern world and technology may make it less important for a man to be a powerful physical warrior, but he must be a warrior still, but of a different sort that is equal to modern threats to her well-being. She still needs his protection emotionally, economically, socially, maternally, reputationally, and for her dignity and honor. However, if the need arises, he must have the capacity to respond to physical threats against her and the family. He must have the capacity for warring aggression while simultaneously holding his natural aggression under control enough to be tender and caring to her and the children. He must have his emotions under control enough to function in any situation, yet respect her need to be more emotional. He must be a man who notices her, majors in educating himself to her peculiar hopes, dreams, appetites, desires, fears, and needs. She wants him to ask her what she wants and be willing to respond. He must listen to her and take her seriously, avoiding dismissive trivializing responses or behaviors. He must be gracious enough to allow her to be imperfect and changeable. She wants a man with a sense of humor, who makes her laugh, and does not take himself too seriously. He must be easy to approach, talk to, and debate with. She wants him to be a good teammate but a decisive decision-maker. He must have the capacity to habitually build her up and raise her self-image. She wants a man to whom she can be submissive yet feel respected, regarded, heard, and safe. A man of integrity who is respected by others, and who has, or can earn a respectable amount of social status equal to her own desires. Romantically, she wants a man who is adventurous and encourages her to be adventurous, and never makes her feel ashamed for doing so. She wants him to keep life interesting, various, novel, and fun. Her man must understand how to satisfy her less visual and more nuanced literary and fantastical bent in romance. It is important that he demonstrates the strength to live in anticipation and accept delayed gratification on behalf of building connection and emotional momentum through playfulness and evocative activities. Every woman wants to feel pretty, desirable, chaste, significant, important, and valued, and the better a man evokes these feelings, the more she wants to have and hold this man forever. A sad truth is that we humans can find pleasure in doing the things we neither want nor need, and in that pleasure feel that we really want or need the thing we are doing. To illustrate, women do not need dozens of sexual partners before marriage, but some women enjoy the pleasure, novelty, and variety so much, they begin to feel as if their serial betting practices are normal and that virginity is aberrant. So, these women easily define serial betting as a want, if not a need, without regard that such behavior is dangerous and against their created purpose, though it is in harmony with their primal urges. Christians understand this problem because of the Apostle Paul's writings in Romans 7, verse 15.
For I do not understand my own actions. For I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate.
Primal urges taken out of bounds do not keep us in harmony with our higher nature or created purpose. Unfortunately, our culture believes their humanly derived definitions of what is good for women come from a more evolved and enlightened set of understandings, leaving them at the mercy of their mistaken notions and inability to control their desires. Paul elucidates more on this problem in Romans 7, verses 18 through 19.
For I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is, in my flesh. For I have the desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing.
In our culture, not only do we keep on doing the evil we don't want to do, but we go on to define the evil as good and needed, trapping us in our own prison of rationalizations. We can experience rapture and dopamine highs by perverting our very own nature. The addict does not want to continually stab himself with needles, but through unwanted punctures, she takes in unneeded chemicals to experience an unnecessary euphoria. It is not natural to want to be high, but it is euphorically pleasurable. In much this way, women pursue unnatural pleasures against their God-given nature, and then define it as a real want or real need. Does a normal person really want to harm herself? Of course not, but a normal person may want the benefit enough to accept the harm. I prefer to define what women really want as those things that are according to their nature and therefore promote their ultimate good. But what many women express as wants today are in conflict with their ultimate good, and therefore immediate wants are in conflict with what they really want. Complicated, huh? Son, the smartest thing you can do is establish a safe space for your girlfriend to pour out her bucket of wants, wishes, hopes, dreams, and fantasies to you, for examination and understanding. I can tell you about the general nature of women, but only she can tell you about her unique wants and needs. I hope this has been beneficial, but I also have a need. I need you to take my lemon meringue pie to your girlfriend and bring me back the apple pie she made. She and I are doing a pie swap. Sounds like you two should sit down and do a want list swap. Yours truly, your loving mother.